वेल्लोर सुद्धा आहे ते अनुदिन
Sir, should we start? With your permission, we will start the session. Gangwani sir,
Madam.
with your permission, we will start the session.
Oh, my.
I think more than 28 participants already joined in this meeting, and it's live on Facebook. Majority will join to the Facebook.
Right, madam, we start.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, very good morning and a very warm welcome to all in today's webinar. I heartily welcome Dr. M.N. Provost, M.N. Patel sir, Provost, Parul University, Dr. H.S. Vijay Kumar, Registrar, Parul University, Professor Dr. Ajit Gangwane, Deputy Registrar, Parul University, Dr. Vanna Ben Patel, Dean, Doctoral Studies and Research, Parul University, all the principals, deans, director, faculty members, and researcher of Parul University, and other participants. Before going to our today's agenda, I would like to take a moment to express my gratitude to Dr. Lalita Polaru, Head Librarian, Knowledge Management Center, National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad, for willingness to deliver the talk on today's topic, open access publishing. I heartily welcome you, Madam Dr. Lalita Polaru, to this webinar. Thank you,
Thank
Madam,
you.
for your time and concern.
Thank you, madam.
Our today's webinar on open access publishing will cover the important aspects such as open access movement, OA publishing models, Sherpa Romeo Juliet, Creative Commons license and its attributes, plagiarism, some Indian initiative like Shodh Ganga and Shodh Gangotri. Uh, so today we are going to uh, cover this many points in today's webinar. Before we start our session, I request Professor and Dr. Ajit Gangwane, Deputy Registrar, Parul University, to enlighten some important information about this webinar and motivate our August gathering with your words, sir. Please, over to you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
These are some of the initiatives which have been taken by the PhD section and our chief librarian, Dr. Dhawan ma'am. For last 3 days, from 22nd of April, 20th of April, 23rd and 27th, we are having the series of lecture. But today's topic is more interesting because it's about open access publication. So why open access publication? Because it is a publication which is very immediately you can refer. It is open for a people or a reader or a researcher to read it, and then he or she as a researcher can cross-reference that particular work and add that particular work into his research. But why open access? It is very great for a reader because it gives, as stated earlier, an immediate access. But there are 5 key points in open access publication. One is the visibility and the impact of the work, what is carried out, how this impact can be beyond the academics, because as an academics we want academic and research to go with hand in hand. So whatever is been happening around us has to be very immediately observed. Then freely sharing, maximum reuse by others and enable others to build up the work. And then there are some of the mandates which has to be followed by the open access. So when we started as a researcher, we have to draft it, send it to the journal, then going and publicating and taking long time. So now things have become more easy by having library playing a very major role and the publication part. But beyond of this, we should also find how quality the open access journal is, because nowadays everything is open and we try to do it down, but there are people like who do it. But there are some of the publications which we have to check it out, how important the publication is there and what are the impact factors for it. And what is the major difference between open access and free access? So when I talk about free access, it is nothing but it can be only used once and it has a time limit. But for open access, it is open for all. So as I feel like, this plays a very major role. And nowadays, because a lot of students come down to us and ask like, sir, which are the journals which has to be published on, whether it is an UGC one, whether it is a Scopus one. So a lot of things are in their mind. So I think for this lecture, Madam is going to deliver, is going to give a lot of avenues for them, because it is very crucial, because whenever you carry out a research and when you collect your data and when you are trying to publish it and you have a very good relevant data, you have to see for journals which has a very good, it has to be having a quality, validity and relevance of your study. So I hope so. Like this lecture series will be very helpful to the PhD scholars, and from on behalf of the management and the university officers, provost, registrar, and myself, I welcome you, madam, and we will have a very good lecture today.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your inspiring word and your presence in this webinar, sir. Now I would like to introduce our today's expert, Dr. Lalita Polaru, Head Librarian, Knowledge Management Center, National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad, and Institute of National Importance. She is responsible for the smooth functioning of Knowledge Management Center across Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar, Bangalore campuses of NID. She was recognized as a research supervisor in library and information science at Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University, Ahmedabad, and 2 research scholars already guided for her credit. She was involved in counseling the students of library and information science of Indira Gandhi Open University, Ahmedabad Regional Center, and guided 10 plus master's dissertations. She has 25 research papers published in international and national journals, book chapters, and international and national conference proceedings. She is awarded for second best paper award at 18th International Symposium of Electronic Theses and Dissertations. She has provided course content on ICT in libraries at EPG Pathshala, an initiative of MHRD under NEMEN and ICT. She has delivered many lectures for various professional activities at academic institute. She is also a reviewer for renowned library and information science journals. Her area of academic and research interest are digital libraries, archives, e-learning, information literacy, institutional repository, and open access. With this brief information about the expert, I would like to invite and hand over the session to Dr. Lalita Pularu, Head Librarian, Management Center, National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad. Before I hand over the session, one announcement for the participants. Please mute your audio as well as video during the session. Only write your query in the chat box. Don't write good morning and hello messages in the chat box. End of the session, we will try to answer your all the queries. Please write in the chat box. We will put the feedback link in the chat box. Please fill that and submit it. Then that only we are able to give you e-certificate to you on your email ID. So your feedback is very valuable for us. So please fill your feedback form end of the session. Otherwise, we are not able to give you e-certificates. Now I will hand over the session to Dr. Lalita Polaru. I heartily welcome you, madam.
Thank
Please
you,
hand
madam.
over to you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank
madam.
you.
Yeah, session is yours. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So before getting into the session, before discussing about the topic for today, that is open access publishing, I would like to thank Parul University um, management for inviting me to deliver this lecture. It's a favorite thing. It's one of my favorite things to discuss such kind of topics with the research scholars, because that this is very important for them to understand about open access as well as open access publishing. So without any late, I'll be getting into this presentation. Thanks for introducing me in a very nice way, Dr. Dhaval Bhatt. So today's presentation will basically touch some points related to open access movement, open access publishing models, Sherpa Romeo Juliet Creative Commons license attributes, plagiarism and predatory journals, some international and Indian open access initiatives, then Plan S. Actually, open access publishing itself is a very huge topic. It's very difficult to complete talking on this topic within 2 hours or 1.5 hours. But then I tried my best to put all of the important information into this presentation so that it will help you in it's during your course of research or thereafter also in your careers. So open access movement. Before getting into open access movement, I just want to discuss one thing. Why should we write or report research? Usually, this I came to know about this point when I was going through some website. William Harvey, who is very known to all biological science students, who has worked on circulation system in human body. He means actually in 16th and 17th century when somebody writes something, they used to apologize to the audience. Why? Because at that time writing is not that important thing. They used to work only. But then when this person, William Harvey, when he started writing, he started apologizing to everybody. But then the gist of the text in quotes is that though he doesn't want to write anything, but then he's putting on all his explanations, research reports, research kind of findings, everything, because he has used somebody's work earlier. The report he was putting on was dependent on somebody's work. And then Some people used to criticize his work. Some people used to appreciate his work. But then thereafter also somebody wants to take forward that work. So because for that purpose, he thought it is important that he should write something so that the labors, all the hard work he has put on, and all the hard work people before him have put on, all these things are to be provided to next generation. This is the basic reason why the academic writing or research reporting has started. So now, when we think about open access, before that, we should understand what were the conditions prevailing before the open access movement. It was like we never used to get literature very easily. Even when I was a student of library and information science, our teachers used to tell us that INSDAC plays a big role in providing research papers to the researchers and academicians. People used to wait for the papers because they can't send them through emails or something like that, which is very weird for your generation now, because with a click we will be able to get information these days. But then during those days, getting information is a very expensive thing, and then time taking thing. We never used to get things on time. People really used to wait for all important information because they have to get that to go forward in their research. So that makes a lot of value for them. But not only that, information is not available to everybody on hand. They have to either depend on somebody or they have to request somebody based on some networking, though by post or by some other ways. People never used to get all the resources readily available on their hands. It's why, because mostly we have subscription models at that time. Of course, this time also, during these times also they are there. But then, because of all these aspects, the scientists started working on this open access model. And let us see what was the impact of all those works that have put on by all those people, the great philosophical leaders, scholars, all these people. So basically, there is a change in scholarly publishing because there is exponential growth in the number of scholarly journals being published. Each and every day, we will come to know one or other journal has been added into the index. And then professional societies, university departments are indulging in publishing journals along with commercial publishers. Both societies, university departments, and commercial companies, means almost everybody has the capacity to publish online journals these days. I don't require to say that all these things are happening because of the advent of information and communication technology, and there is a revolutionary change in web publishing because of that. Then, however, they also have shareholders and wanted to make a profit. So although universities, some other departments, some other institutes, all of them are publishing instead of making them open to public, instead of, though it is means half it is open to public, people want to have some kind of profits. This is the current scenario of the publishing, scholarly publishing. So what is open access? Open access is literature. It is open access literature is digital, online, free of charge, and mostly free of copywriting and license. Free of all these things, copyright and licensing restrictions. This was quoted by one of the most famous philosophers of open access, Peter Schuber. For last 20 years, I have been reading all his texts to understand about open access and all. One of the famous open access philosophers. So now, coming to open access movement. It's broadly international movement that seeks to grant free and open online access to academic information, such as publications and data. Earlier, we used to think about publications only, but now data has been also added into that. Then publication is defined, a publication is defined open access when there are no financial, legal, or technical barriers to accessing it. Anyone can read, download, copy, distribute, print, search for, and search within the information, or use it in education or in any other way within the legal agreements. Then the open access is the publishing model for scholarly communication that makes research information available to readers at no cost, as opposed to traditional subscription model in which readers have access to scholarly information by paying a subscription. This is usually through libraries. Then what are all the reasons for open access movement? As I have already told you, unavailability of wealth of information to most of the required researchers or academicians. And then the other thing is it's important that when you are putting a lot of research and when you are writing papers, I think it is your right as an author to own the literature by yourself. Own the literature by yourself means to have a kind of freedom to share your work with other people or the needy people. So that is another reason. To a large extent, and legacy of print, the legacy of print resists access and cooperation. As I have already told you earlier, because we used to have all these print journals. Of course, now also print journals are prevailing. It's not that print journals are not there now. But then the preliminary things, and it's the main aspects were like print journals at that time. Yeah. So it becomes very difficult to share those printed articles. You have to either send by post or some other way, or you have to hand over to somebody. That is the way you can share those things. So it becomes a big resistance to share or access the print journals. So that is another reason why we are thinking about more e-journals these days. And given to the pandemic situations, we are very, very highly depending on print resources, e-resources or online resources or digital resources these days. So to make resources available in a fair and reasonable model, that is another reason. And research is not being disseminated as widely as it could be. It's quite obvious when you print in, the subscribed models of periodicals, then it is not possible that your research can be visible to more wider researchers or audience in that particular subject. Because only people who have subscribed to the journal may be able to look into that. So it hinders the visibility of the research that one has put on. So there are two major declarations or initiatives related to open access. One is the Budapest Open Access Initiative. If I remember correctly, this happened in 2002. And in 2012, after 10 years, they have revived the initiative again. And this is the revised initiative that I have put on here. By open access to peer-reviewed research literature. Please remember, it's not just literature. It is peer-reviewed research literature that itself gives a lot of value to the publishing that takes place through open access. It should be peer-reviewed. It should be online. Yeah, and it should be free. Free in the way to distribute, to share, to cite, to use it in educational resources. It's for educational purposes and research purpose. So here, what they said, open access to peer-reviewed research literature, we mean it's freely available on public internet, permitting any users to read, download, copy, distribute, print, search, or link to the full text of these articles, crawl them for the indexing, pass them as data to software, or use them for any other lawful purpose without financial, legal, or technical barriers, other than those inseparable from gaining access to internet itself. The only constraint on reproduction and distribution and only role for copyright in this domain should be to give authors control over the integrity of their work and the right to be properly acknowledged and cited. So here it is clearly mentioning that it's the copyright is of authors only, and the author would be controlling the integrity of their work, and it's the right of the author that his or her work is to be acknowledged and cited properly. So because it is open access, somebody can't copy it and take it as their own work. It is not correct actually. Even it is available on open access mode, it is very important for the authors that they should acknowledge and cite the work of other authors, though it is available on open access. So the other declaration is the Berlin Declaration on Open Access to Knowledge in the Sciences and Humanities. It is establishing open access as a worthwhile procedure, ideally requires the active commitment of every individual producer or scientific knowledge and holder of cultural heritage. Open access contributions include original scientific research results, raw data and metadata, source materials, digital representations of pictorial and graphic materials, and scholarly multimedia material. So this declaration happened in 2003, and the gist is like, it's very clear that they have mentioned raw data, metadata, source materials, graphical materials. Means basically this is not only to the open access to knowledge is not only to sciences but also to humanities and other disciplines where such kind of information or data are in use. So now coming to open access publishing models, we have basically 4 models here. Open access publishing model one, gold route as fully open access journals, and then the publication through publisher platforms in full open access journals. This route may involve a charge. So mostly the open access journals that are published in gold route will have some kind of article processing charges that are covered by the authors or by their institutions, sometimes by funding agencies also. It allows allow the author to publish articles under Creative Commons licenses, thereby enabling readers to freely access and redistribute their articles. Usually, publishers encourage the use of CC BY licenses for gold open access journal articles, but authors can choose more restrictive CC licenses if they wish to prevent commercial use or adaptations in new works. And most research funders support open access and are willing to cover costs themselves. In later part of this presentation, you will come to know who are all those funders, research funders, and then who are going to support this kind of initiatives. And mostly a list of fully open access journals are available on Directory of Open Access Journals. So this is about the gold route. So this is Directory of Open Access Journals, from where you will be able to look into all these fully open access journals. They have given the languages, country representatives, and articles, means the journals, all these things. The details of statistics of all these things here. Whenever you have time, I would request you all to get into this site and explore some details about this site. The second model is hybrid journals model. These journals are subscription-based journals that allow open access publication of individual articles on payment or an article processing charge. It's both like I think you have already seen in some of the journals like Bentham Science journals and some social science journals under Tyler and Francis, Cambridge University, some literature related journals with Cambridge University Press or Oxford University Press. Some of you might have come through this kind of model where the journal would be into subscription model, but then some of the articles are open to readers. So these articles are actually published in open access mode by providing a payment, that is article processing charge by the author to make his or her work visible to everybody, so that there is a lot of impact for their research. So this is the second model. And the third model is Green Root, which usually librarians are implementing this. This is the great research muscle power to the librarians. With the Green Root model, the full text of academic publications is deposited in a trusted repository, a publicly accessible database managed by a research organization, or in the institutional repositories built by respective institutes or universities. So we have seen these days, most of them are using DSpace, digital library software, which actually harvest the metadata on open archive initiatives. So by using all these things, they will be able to provide the details also, as well as the articles and theses that are published by their students or faculty members or researchers involved with the institutes. All these things can be provided openly visible to other people. So mostly, if you look into IIM or IIT Gandhinagar websites or some other universities, you can see this kind of initiatives. They provide a subject-wise list of articles published by their faculty members, research students, or anybody who have been associated with them based on projects or whatever. All these details would be provided in their institutional repositories, which makes a lot of great research information to other people who are not into the institute, being away from or remote to the people who are at remote places also. So I basically advocate this kind of things for librarians to put into the efforts to provide this kind of research available to the academic and research community. See, this is one of the examples for this kind of model, arXiv.org. It's basically on physics, but then it provides a lot of information on mathematics, computer science, electronic science, all these things. I think around 9 or 10 subjects are being handled by these people to provide scholarly articles. Yeah, here it is. It has been given like computer science, quantitative biology, quantitative finance, statistics, electrical engineering, system science, and economics. So these are all means this is one of the first sites that was available during. I mean that was available from means early 2000. Yeah, even late 1990s even. They have set example for open access, providing articles through open access mode actually. And Cochrane's is another old repository that provides a lot of information related to psychology, neuroscience, computer science, linguistics, philosophy, biology, etc. And then the fourth model is open access publishing model through Diamond route, publication via Diamond journals, platforms that do not charge author-facing publication fee, that is article processing charges and all, they are not there for this kind of journals or articles that are published in this kind of journals. Diamond open access journals are usually funded by library subsidy models, institutions, or societies. So I have not heard about any libraries subsidized models in our country. I hope I'm not aware in case if they are available also. But then I have heard from so many peer professionals, professional colleagues from IITs who are into this kind of means who are their faculty are involved into this kind of publication, as well as the gold model publications where the institute, the funding agency which provides the funds for conducting research, they support the article processing charges in order to make their research visible to most of the researchers in that particular field. So those are the four models, basic important models. But then the other ways of delivering open access are through your personal websites, blogs, wikis, ebooks, email lists, audio podcasts, video, webcasts, RSS feeds, peer-to-peer networks. These are some other ways of delivering open access. We have seen a lot of examples for these kind of things. Initially, I remember some 8 years back, NAC wanted to have blogs for all faculty members through which they can communicate a lot of information when there is a revolutionary change happening that from when the education has shifted from teacher-centric to learner-centric education. I think this kind of initiatives are very, very important, where the teachers can mentor the students through this kind of medium. And this is very, very convenient and very easy way of communicating information with the students or peers in that particular subject. So what are all the advantages of open access publishing? I think the Deputy Registrar, he has already enlightened the audience today about the advantages of open access publishing, making my job very easy. That is that visibility, retrievability, audience usage, and citation impact. So the visibility thing is very clear that the open access articles are visible online, freely available. You can download, you can share, you can cite. So this is really a wonderful thing. Otherwise, for subscribed models, though the articles are available online, we are not able to access them. As soon as you click on their article, immediately it will appear that please pay $40 or $50 in order to get access for this article for next 5 hours. See how crazy is that? Next 5 hours, you are going to access that and you have to pay $40 or $50 for that. And thereafter, you have no ownership on that particular article. It is available just for the set time. Or in case some models are there where they will be providing you the complete article for lifetime. That is also there, but then these days, we have very different models, and before getting into the purchase thing, you have to be very careful for what purpose you are paying money, for what kind of access you are paying money. It's perpetual or for time being or something like that. You have to be very careful about that. And of course, retrievability is they can be very easily retrieved because mostly the open access journals or open access articles are indexed on most of the open access indexes, so that it is very easy to get on Google Scholar or Google or something, because Google crawls very fastly into all these open indexes and it can retrieve the information within seconds, maybe 1 or 2 seconds. So the retrievability rate is very, very fast, in fact, super fast. And then audience, obviously, when you make the information into open access mode, because of its visibility, you will have certainly more audience to this particular journals or articles. And then because of their availability, they are used very well. They will be read very well. And because of that, because the research work that has been put on in open access mode, because they are visible, because they are readable, because they are usable, there is a lot of impact. If the research put on and the articles that have a lot of value, research value, then they would be certainly getting the citation impact. And being research scholars, I hope you all are aware of importance of citations to your work. Not only now, thereafter also, once you get into the careers like scientists and maybe academicians, then also for a lot of career advancements, I think the citations, impact factor of your research, the published work, all these things are taken into consideration. Though I don't really believe on impact factor, because that is a different story, which I don't want to get into now. But then impact of research is very important. Yeah. So these are all the advantages of open access publishing. Then let's come to understand what is Sherpa Romeo Juliet. This seems to be like a some classical literature kind of thing, but then they have given very romantic means names to this kind of information, which really helps the researchers. Let us come to understand what is Sherpa services. Sherpa services have been put on by Joint Information System Committee, which is a not-for-profit companies that support research and supports research for post 16 and higher education institutes and research network. To them, it provides research network, digital resources, and then technological services related to research and other things. So this is a company that provides, this is a committee that provides this kind of support to the UK-based higher education institutes. That itself has a lot of value when it is related to when into our subject like library science. Otherwise, it has a lot of value while providing the research and scientific services to the researchers and academicians across the globe. So based on this, you can understand what are all the important things they're providing here. Like, for example, research funders, open access policies, and then helping authors and institutions make informed and confident decisions in open access publication and compliances. So they help in that way. And Sherpa Romeo enables researchers and librarians to see publishers' conditions for open access archiving on a journal-to-journal basis. And then Sherpa Juliet, it helps the researchers and librarians to see funders' conditions for open access publishing. Please try to understand. While Romeo helps to see publishers' conditions for open access archiving on a journal-to-journal basis, Juliet enables researchers and librarians to see funders' conditions for open access publications. Let us see what is this. So Sherpa Romeo is an online resource that aggregates and presents publisher and journal open access policies around the world. So basically, as I have told you, these people, they help, means the Sherpa Romeo will help the researchers to understand about who the aggregates and present means publishers and journal open access policies to the researchers. see, here is the statistics of the Sherpa Romeo publishers by country. You can see from India, we have 155 publishers. And you can see the highest number of publishers are from United States. India, of course, I have told you there are 155 publishers who are offering into Sherpa Romeo kind of services. Once you get into the list, it is there on their website. Once you get into the list, we will be able to see who are all the publishers that are offering such kind of services in India. And then the growth of publishers in Sherpa Romeo is increasing constantly, because that itself is clear that there is a lot of value for open access initiatives because of the advantages I have already discussed. When it was 73 in 2004, in 2021 April, it is around 4,810 publishers that are offering the Sherpa Romeo services. So using the new version of Romeo, you can understand about registering in an open access policy. Whenever you get time, please get into these things and understand what they are all about. Because if I go and explain about all these things, it will take more and more time. So it provides key information on registering an open access policy, updating the open access policy on Romeo, inclusion criteria, linking to specific record, reusing Sherpa Romeo data, API access, publishers policy icons. These are all basic information that they provide. Whenever you have time, you may please explore these things. And then regarding Juliet, as I have already told you, Sherpa Juliet is a searchable database and single focal point of up-to-date information concerning funders' policy requirement on open access, publication, and data archiving. So in order to find the funders' policy, I think you can just type the funder here, and then you can start searching for the funders' policy. This is also a very useful site, and it is to be explored by all researchers to understand who are all the funders available and who are going to support you for your publications. And then another three things that are available through Sherpa services are like Open Door, Sherpa Fact, and Sherpa Ref. Let us see what are all those. Open Door is directory of open access repositories, and there are so many repositories available in around the globe. Some are subject-based repositories, some are general repositories. But then I would really recommend to all research scholars to look into the various repositories of their subject importance, because they provide you a lot of free information like open access information, which would be very useful for your research. In India, if we have seen, there are around 98 open access repositories. And when it comes to more number of repositories, it is again the United States of America. Then the Sherpa Fact is funders and authors compliance tool. These are all the new services that the Sherpa has started. Earlier, it was only Sherpa Romeo Juliet, but then based on the requirement, based on the importance of all these things, I think they have started all these tools again, compliance tools and all. Sherpa Fact provides clear guidance to researchers on whether a journal complies with a funder's open access policy. It's not that whoever funds, whoever is the funder who is going to provide you the fund, it is not that each and every journal will accept that funder's kind of policies. You know, in order to get your work published in open access journals, the funders as well as the journals compliances has to match. So for that, this Sherpa Fact is really helpful. You can select the funder and the journal, and then you can check the compliances based on this. So this is one of the useful tools for people who would like to publish on open access mode. Then Sherpa APIs. See here, they have given note that all of our APIs were upgraded between 17, 2020 with the previous version being retired. I think people who have not used this earlier has no impact for this. But then for new users, it is like application programming interface that provides access to functionality and data sets that Sherpa services operate across. These days, using data sets has become a very interesting thing in research. And earlier, we never used to get data sets on open mode. But then now, with the requirement, with the awareness about open access, even we have we are getting this kind of data sets on open access mode, and Sherpa APS actually provides such kind of access to functionality and data sets that Sherpa services operate across, not all, but then wherever they operate on, there only you will get that kind of information. So these are all the 5 services that are available through Sherpa services. I thought because I have spoken a lot about Creative Commons license, I thought let me introduce to the topic. Though I'm not getting in detail about the topic, I thought it is important I should at least provide some glimpses of what is the Creative Commons license. So this is the logo for Creative Commons. The Creative Commons copyright licenses and tools forge a balance inside the traditional all rights reserved setting that copyright law creates. Whenever you come to library, whenever you ask us to provide a book for photocopying or something, the library staff will resist that. Why? Because there are certain copyright laws that we have to follow, and the library staff and the librarians, they all were taught to take care of all these things in the library so that the copyrights are not infringed by complete photocopying of book or something like that. It is because of the Copyrights Act or the copyright law that the book is having. So in order to use the work which is being licensed on Creative Commons copyright license, the tools give everyone from individual creators to large companies and institutions a simple standardized way to grant copyright permissions to their creative work. This is based on CC, Creative Commons. The combination of the Creative Commons copyright tools and users is a vast and growing digital commons, a pool of content that can be copied, distributed, edited, remixed, and built upon, all within the boundaries of copyright law. Here also, you have copyright law, but then it has a lot of relaxation. It's not saying that it can be used in any of the way out of law or something like that, but it has given certain words, and again it is saying within the boundaries of the copyright law. In a lawful way, you can use this information. Means people who can use this information is like big companies to institutes to like whoever who would like to get indulged in the research or academics or some other work which has an impact and which has a use to the society. They can use the work which has been licensed as per Creative Commons copyright. So what are the attributes? There are six attributions of Creative Commons license, copyright licenses. They are by attribution, Creative Commons by, like it's a very simple thing. You can share, use, provide to anybody, distribute, all these things are there. I have not given the complete definition here because it will take another half an hour to explain all these things. So I thought, let me introduce to you at least by giving simple words to the attribution to which it each and every CC copyright license belong to. Like attributions share alike. The thing is not to be changed at all. It can be shared alike. That is CC by SA. And then no derives. Not supposed to derive anything. It is CC by ND. Non-commercial purpose, CC by NC. If it is non-commercial, share alike, then it is CC by NCSA. And then non-commercial no derives is CC by NCND. So please look into the definitions of all these attributions, because it's very important to understand that each and every attribution has a way of sharing information which is relevant according to the license. So please look into that. Now let us see how universities can promote open access, which is very important thing. First thing, as I have already told you, I have informed it as a research muscle power to librarians for providing information by building institutional repositories where submitted thesis and published research articles can be deposited to make them visible for everybody. So this is wonderful initiative which can happen in-house inside the university. Only thing is you have to find out an appropriate digital library software for building such kind of repositories. Usually in India, we have seen DSpace, ePrints, all these software are in use for building such kind of repositories. Open access journals. When you are planning to publish a journal, at least if you are if you want to have some kind of what I can say profit by publishing journals, I think that can happen. But then please make some embargo period. Embargo period is like maybe after 3 months, maybe after 6 months, maybe after a year, you can make it open access. Means all the articles that have been published in those journals can be provided in open access mode, so that people will come to read such kind of articles. That will have a lot of impact to the publications that you have published, as well as the other researchers would get help from such kind of initiatives. That is one thing. The other thing is, by publishing open access journals or by encouraging the researchers and faculty members to publish in open access journals by sponsoring article processing charges. So usually the publishers who publish open access journals, that is gold route, I have already explained, they charge the authors to provide some article processing fees and all, so that their articles can made completely open access. But it is difficult to an researcher or to a faculty member to actually pay such kind of charges from their own pocket. So there the universities are the universities through their funding agencies, or the universities can have some contingency fund for such kind of things where such kind of initiatives can be supported. And then open books, promotion and tenure criteria. Please see that if somebody is publishing in, this is a common phenomenon that is taking place in our country, that open access, if somebody is publishing in open access journals, they are not given that kind of priority. In some cases, not all cases, in some cases. But it is not a right thing. When a person or when a faculty, when a researcher, he or she is publishing in an open access journal, please see the standard of the journal. Please see see whether the review process is happening, peer review process is happening or not. If it is happening, if the editorial board members are of strength, and then the public, the journal is publishing for consecutive 10 years or 20 years or something, then that research has to be taken, is to be given a lot of importance. So that is one thing. And then by promoting the researchers or faculty members, during their career advancements, when they publish in open access journals with high impact factor and with all other factors which I have just explained, taking those things into consideration, I think the faculty members are to be given some kind of career advancements or some kind of encouragement, so that that kind of initiatives they will keep on putting on actually for that purpose. And then educate faculty members, research scholars, and postgraduate students about copyright and open access. Most of the times, the faculty members or research scholars, they're not aware about the copyright. I think most of you, if you have published any articles, soon after, in the kind of enthusiasm to get the work published, this happens in that way. I know that because I have also done such kind of things. That's why I'm saying, with the enthusiasm to get the work published in some good journals, soon after they send us the copyright form, we will transfer all copyrights to them. So once you transfer all copyrights to the publishers, you can't change anything thereafter. These days, people are arguing that author has author rights to share or something like that. But then you can share either the preprints or postprints, not the actual published article. Once you transfer all copyrights to the publisher. So there are so many other factors which are to be understood. Please be very careful when you are transferring all copyrights to the publisher. And even as I have told you during golden route to open access publishing, usually when you are publishing in such kind of journals, they ask you to sign for CC BY, where but then you can always ask them to publish your article, or you can always inquire in what way they are going to publish when they are publishing in open access mode, or by transferring the copyrights or something. You have to be very keen while giving such kind of rights to somebody, or while understanding the way of publications. It's your right to understand all these things. So please try to understand the importance of copyright and open access publishing. It's your right to hold your work with you. So please understand that, and try to understand more about copyrights and open access. So the open access book, the Humanities Open Book thing, I just wanted to share. It is for humanities, mostly published on open access mode. And then, yeah, BMC. This is one of the important publishers, the Biomed Central. It funds also, it published complete open access. Like you can see that BMC has an evolving portfolio of some 300 peer-reviewed journals sharing discoveries from research community in science, technology, engineering, and medicine. From 1999 onwards, they have started high-quality research open to everyone who needed to access it. So this is a gold open access publishing route. I mean, they adopt that, and then they also fund to the researchers to publish in their journals or in any other journals also. I think, yeah, here I have given something related to these people, that by 2017, BMC enabled researchers to publish 70,000 research articles and contributed to over 5 million article downloads. And now they are celebrating their 20th year anniversary. Just understand the capability and standard of this publisher, that Biomed Central. This is one of the pioneering publisher who started open access publishing and then funding, and then they are also providing the statistics related to downloads, the kind of impact of the work. These many downloads means the articles are of high value. It's not that the research is substandard. The research is of high value. Their publications are of high value. So without any hesitation, one can use the Biomed Central periodicals for their research, for citing or anything related to research. So this is another example, Public Library of Science. These people all, I mean, they are also into a lot of open access along with Biomed Central. Open opportunities for community to see, cite, share, and build on your research. PLOS gives you more control over how and when your work becomes available. See, they are into both the preprints and publications review also. So this is one of the interesting site. I think all researchers who are into science background or technology background, they should certainly explore this site. And then, PubMed Central is again another repository. Is a freely full text archive of biomedical and life science journals, literature at US National Institute of Health's National Library of Medicine. So this is another important site for researchers into biomedical sciences or biological sciences also sometimes. This is one of the best repository where you can get highly scholastic articles. And then Open Content Alliance. This is one of the best site which I have come across, which has a lot of information related to various resources in format also, not only in the way the kind of resources are available. You will get, you can see the icons here next to the Internet Archive. They're providing if that is a book, if it is a negative, if it is a podcast, if it is a webcast or something else, they have given the icons. Just look into this collection. It has amazingly interesting collection, which will be suitable for any kind of readers, any kind of users or researchers or academicians. I think this is one of the best sites. This is one of my favorite sites, I can say, from where I provide a lot of information to our students as well as the faculty members. Then, yeah, I think we all know about the Project Gutenberg, that is the Google Book initiative. It's one of the interesting thing. These people, not this thing, the Project Gutenberg, where they are providing all US copyright expired things. They are providing the scanned copies of all these free ebooks where the copyrights have already expired. This is based in the USA. So around 60,000 free ebooks they're providing. It is one of the best sites to get a lot of classics. Yeah. Then coming to the very important and interesting topic of this session, that is plagiarism issues and predatory journals. Actually, in the course content that has been provided to me, in that it has shown that SPPU kind of plagiarism detection software. But then when I have gone to their site and searched for the circular, I have got this circular from Savitribai Phule Pune University that they are using Urkunt software that is provided through InflibNet. Yeah, this is the thing I have seen. And then why we are talking plagiarism when we are talking about open access publishing is a question. Plagiarism itself is a totally different topic. But then why we are supposed to talk about this when we are discussing about open access publishing? Because once you make your work on public platform or public domain, from that particular date, that work belongs to you. If somebody is plagiarizing that work and showing that they have put on the work, you have all legal aspects to make them, show them wrong. Yeah, in a way, you are securing your work by uploading into public platform or public domain, or by providing that into a public repository, something like that. So now here we are talking about plagiarism because by making your work open, uh, people will come to know if you have plagiarized also, and if somebody is plagiarizing from your work also, both the things can be clearly visible to the other researchers. So this is one of the most important things why you have to make your work open to public. It's a say that the public funded work is to be provided to public domain. If it is not funded also by public funds, then also I think it's very important to provide the research work to the public domain or deposit your work on public domain, because people will come to know about the impact of your research. Somewhere people will use that work, and there will not be the duplication of that particular work. See, conducting research is a very valuable thing. It's only people who are very lucky can do that work, and people who are studious, people who are scholastically high in their intellect, only those people can put on research. Research is not for time passing or something. It is to give some kind of value to that subject and give some kind of information to the public, through which somebody get some kind of help to go forward. So it's very important to showcase your work so that somebody can fill the gaps, and somebody will come to know the work has already been put on, so they have to think about some other new work in that particular field. All these things will happen when you provide the work which you have put on into the public domain. And in the same way, you will also deter the plagiarism by uploading your work into public domain. Then I would like to bring to your notice that InfluMnet with their project's name, Shodh Suddhi. Yeah, Shodh Suddhi. I think it is research purity or something like that if we convert it into English. So to make pure research in that way, that without any plagiarism. Yeah, and don't take it in other way. Pure research is the quality-based research. So in order to provide such kind of thing, the UGC has taken a very stringent approach because they just want to deter the plagiarism. So a similarity detection software or plagiarism detection software named Urkun is being provided to the universities and some national important institutes by InfluMnet Center, which is placed in Gandhinagar, which has a lot of role in library and information science as well as the centers. So they have some other important projects which are related to the libraries. So I'm not going to discuss all those things now here. Looking into the Shodh Suddhi, just see how many people are using that, how many member institutes. They have 1,044 member institutes. I think this is on September. I can't see the date there. And then as on 25/4/2021. Summary at a glance, as on 25/4/2021, they have 1,044 total members as institutes, and then total users are more than lakh, and total documents submitted to the software is this. So that means most of the universities are using this software for checking the plagiarism. And other than that, also some of the universities are also using the proprietary softwares like Turnitin and all. So that is different thing. But then here, this is a government initiative, Minister of Education initiative that is provided to universities. So if you want to reach to InfluMnet, these are all the details available. And then coming to predatory journals, which is very important, and with respect to our topic today, when I'm saying open access, it's that open access and article processing charges and all, most of the times most of the young researchers fall prey to these predatory journals, which is very sad and which is very unethical on the side of the predatory journals, people who are running these kind of predatory journals. So what is predatory journal? Predatory refers to the fact that, that these entities prey on academicians for financial profit via article processing charges for open access articles without meeting scholarly publishing standards. So what are the scholarly publishing standards here? The article is to be peer reviewed. You have to have a good editorial board, and then there should be a time length for the publication, and then the journal has to be published consecutively for so many years. All these things are the scholarly publishing standards. These are some of the scholarly publishing standards, I can say. So they don't meet the scholarly publication standards, but then they keep on sending you emails saying that we will be providing you a lawyer fee other than those legitimate author means the author pays to the legitimate journals. They say they can offer lower fee in order to publish their articles in that particular journals. But then there is no value in publishing such kind of predatory journals, and the work which you have published is not counted for your either career advancements or research advancements. Please mind you, open access means you have to thoroughly check all the details of the journal, of the review, of the editorial board when you want to publish something, or go to the best publishers who are the standard publishers in open access, look into the directory of open access journals list, and then decide upon whether you would like to go to publish into that open access journal or not. But then please don't fall prey to these predatory journals. This is a very serious issue in our country now. People have debated a lot on this. So I thought it is important to bring to your notice about this. Then the predatory journals, like 6 ways to spot a predatory journal. Always check the website thoroughly. Check if the journal is a member of Directory of Open Access, Committee on Publishing Ethics, or Science, Technical, Medical, STM journals, or research the editorial board, look at their peer review process and publication timelines, read through past issues of the journal. See, these are all the important things which you have to keep in mind while sending your articles to publishing in open access journals. Don't think because they're offering very less article processing fee or article processing charges, you will get published in that particular journal. But before thinking and before deciding, please look into these 6 points and then decide upon whether to publish in that journal or not. So there is a major initiative by UGC to curb academic dishonesty in UGC CARE websites. The website is given here. I think it is again University of Pune that has put on a lot of work. The site I have given here, and thereafter also I have provided the PDF in the next slide. This is the slide where I have provided the screenshot of the PDF. Consortium for Academic Research and Ethics, that is CARE. This is one of the major initiative by UGC. Please download the PDF and read, because I cannot share the PDF with this. I thought I will show you a screenshot and provide the source from where you can download the PDF. I would urge all research scholars and their supervisors to look into this PDF, understand what are all the academic research, means what is the academic research and ethics related to that. This document has given very nice information about predatory journals and other things. Please look into this document. So now coming to our almost last topic in this presentation, few national and international initiatives. I thought because this lecture is for mostly for PhD students or research scholars, I thought it's important to show them about this kind of information. Though most of them are aware about this, I thought it's good to bring to their notice. Shodh Ganga, this is a reservoir of Indian thesis, and Inflibnet is very actively working on this project. 2.8 lakh theses are already available in this repository with 20 subjects. And then the statistics has been provided on the screenshot. I think this screenshot was taken on 25th of this month. So this is the latest, almost latest. Yeah. And then here I have underlined with red, see why they wanted to come up with this kind of initiative. It is also plagiarism, and also they wanted to the UGC notification minimum standards and procedure of award of MPhil and PhD degree regulation 2009 amendment made on 2016, dated 5th March 2016 mandates submission of electronic version of these or version of thesis dissertations by the researchers in the universities with an aim to facilitate open access to Indian thesis and dissertations to the academic community worldwide, online availability of electronic thesis through centrally maintained digital repository, not only to ensure easy access and archiving of Indian doctoral thesis, but also help in raising the standard and quality of research. This is what I have explained to you. The poor visibility or unseen factor of research will keep on or will put on duplicate efforts of putting on same research again and again, or gaps are not filled, or people may think that that particular topic has not been taken for research, and again that amount of time they will put on will be wasted once already that work has been done. So in order to avoid all these things, the Indian initiatives, the Government of India initiatives like the UGC initiatives towards the research scholars in our country to provide already submitted thesis to different universities. The research scholars, before finalizing upon their topics, they can just come here and look into the this reservoir according to their subject. If that particular topic was already taken up for the research or not, are there any gaps in this in that particular topic? All these things can be looked upon before they proceed in their research. Not only that, another interesting thing I would like to bring to your notice, if you are putting on some research with some similarity to your research, you will get a lot of literature review from that, from the other theses also, which is of a lot of value, which will really save a lot of time. So that is one of the things. And then for a young researcher, it is very difficult to understand the way of scientific writing. By looking into these theses also, one can understand how people have written their thesis and what is the best way to write the thesis. So there are so many positive things related to this reservoir of Indian thesis. So I would definitely request you all to look into this repository, if you have not looked into this. Then these are all the details that they have got. 3 lakh thesis as on 9th April 2021. So these are all the screenshots. And the National Digital Library of India is one of the other important initiatives where you will be getting a lot of information related to science, humanities, literature, law, and management. And still the initiatives are still on and on and on to bring a lot of information. Please look into this site. This will also provide you a lot of information, and almost all resources are available on open access mode here. And then one of the international initiative which I would like to bring to your notice is Network Digital Library of Thesis and Dissertations. Please look into this site also and look for different thesis or dissertations that have been submitted to this portal. This will give very interesting insights of the thesis writing, the difference between the Indian kind of thesis writing and the other countries kind of thesis writing. You will come to know how best you can write the thesis. Yeah, please look into this. This will provide not only the subject related things, but also you will come to know the kind of thesis writing in other countries, because this is a global initiative. And from here you can search for the ETDs from different countries, and they have given some advanced search tips and tips and all. You can just go into that and check for those tips if in case if you want to search for some information. And then I thought it is important to bring to your notice about Plan S. There was a lot of discussion about Plan S, and then one nation, one subscription in our country. Yeah. So with effect from 2021, all scholarly publications on the results from research funded by public and private grants provided by national, regional, and international research councils and funding bodies must be published in open access journals and open access platforms are made immediately available through open access repositories without embargo. So most of the European countries, the European Research Council has agreed for this Plan S. But then in our country, there was a lot of debate, and then ultimately they have come up with an idea of one country, one subscription. From here to, it has gone to some different debates, and then it has come up to one country, one subscription, which is still in, I think it is being in a like detailed study to implement in future. So I thought, because you are all research scholars, I thought I should bring this to your notice to understand what is happening in our country related to the availability of research contents and other things. So I think with this, I have completed my presentation. And then if you have any queries, you may please contact me on my email ID, or otherwise we can have just some discussion now. Thank you so much for your patience for listening my presentation. I hope this will certainly help you in understanding open access and how open access would be helpful to you in your research initiatives. Many thanks. I think I don't require to share my screen now.
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
Really, the session is very informative.
Thank you so much. I think I have seen one question, what is predatory journals? I think I have already explained this, and I don't require to again explain this. If you want me to explain, I don't mind, I'll explain. Please let me know. In the chat box, I have
Explain
seen.
in a brief, so he will get the answer of his question.
Yeah, this predatory journal is something, as I have told you, that the journal publishers may send number of emails to the researchers or faculty members or whom they find the authors or somebody, saying that we are an open access journal, we will publish in open access mode to make your work visible, and we don't charge you much, we charge you very less for means publishing your article as article processing charges, something like this. So this kind of journals are mostly known as predatory journals. They don't have any substance in those journals. They are not considered as standard journals. For this, I have already told you what are all the 6 ways to spot predatory journals. Like you have to look into their website, understand the things from their website, the periodicity of their publications, like issues, that particular journal, how many issues it has published, whether it is publishing regularly or not, if they have published, whether it is where there is a peer reviewed process, or whether you have any time limits for publication, or you have any editorial board. All these things are to be kept in mind before you think about publishing. So the predatory journal is that which don't has all these things. I hope it is clear to the.
Yes. Yes,
Thank you.
madam.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really, it is a very informative and enlightening. Definitely, it will help the audience to understand the subject in a better way and to remember what they learned today. Really, the Consortium for Academic Research and Ethics related to Predatory Journal will help all the researchers as well as the guide also. We have to refer the care, so we will get the clear about the predatory, what is predatory journals and how it will reduce in our research work. So she covered all the major topics in her session about the open access publishing. Thesis writing skills, how we can develop our thesis writing skill also. So Plan S will help the researchers all are agree for our One Nation One subscription for that. So really it is a very informative session for all the researchers as well as the librarians as well as the faculty members also. Really, madam, I appreciate your session skill and information.
Many thanks, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
I feel honored to share the information whatever I have acquired during all these years. That will have a lot of value actually. I feel
Yes.
very honored for that. Many thanks for inviting me to this session. This is one of my favorite topics actually.
Really, but it's very informative and very pinpointedly information you shared with in a very casual manner. So we will understand the level of understanding is very easy for us.
Yeah.
So thank you so much on behalf of. Then another question is, would you please give us the list of sites for accessing open
Open
access journals? Yes.
I have already told you that the Directory of Open Access Journals, DOAJ. Just type
Okay.
DOAJ
Yes.
on Google. You will get complete site, and it will list all the journals that are available on open access mode. I think that is. I think the answer is has been given by me, and another person has written something related to writing thesis. Comparison between foreign thesis and Indian thesis. See, I can't mention any details in this because this has to be explored by the researcher. See, the way I have explored, you have to explore by yourself in your subject because I may not be into your subject. This is writing thesis is very subject specific and topic specific. So one has to compare the style of writing. So yeah, can the link be put here for us? Thank you. Yeah, well, the link is like I have already provided you that NDLTD, okay, Network Digital Library Thesis and Dissertations. That link I have already given in my presentation. It has been recorded. I think Dhaval madam can provide you that link. Yeah.
Yes, definitely, madam.
Yeah.
Then
And, what are the
other,
disadvantages of open access publishing? Actually,
yeah,
if you publish in a standard open access journal, there are no disadvantages at all, according to me. All are advantages because your work will be visible. You will get more number of citations. More number of citations means a lot of impact to your research work. That will be considered as considered in your academic advancements and career advancements, and then you will be known to your peers in your particular discipline. So what else you want? There will be a lot of networking because of that. What else you want? I don't think if you publish in a standard open access journal, I don't think there are any disadvantages. There are so many advantages. Only thing is people have to understand about open access in a proper, thorough way. That's it. And then any other question?
yeah,
That's how to avoid plagiarism. How to avoid plagiarism is something which is very self-discipline attitude, which you have to be into. Don't copy things from other articles. If you are taking one or two sentences just to show that you are working on this basis, please cite that, put into quotes or make it into italic words, or just don't copy paper to paper or paragraphs or pages into your work, and then cite from wherever you are taking that particular work, cite the article. So this is something different. Okay. So that way you will not plagiarize. And in the bibliography or in the reference section, provide complete information about the article from where you have taken those two sentences. Okay. So that way you are not considered as plagiarizing something into your text. You are acknowledging and citing the other person's work. So it is not plagiarism. It is your duty to acknowledge and cite the other person's work. All right. Mm.
So, can you recommend any free software for checking plagiarism? There are so many plagiarism check free
Yeah.
softwares are there. So
I
you
use
can-
plagiarism.com. I think, plagiarism.com, something like that I use for my kind of things. But other than that, there are many plagiarism software, and when your university is providing some good software, then don't go for all these free open source software. I would suggest you to go for the university recommended software.
Yes, we
only.
have we are providing the Orkun software as well as we have the Turnitin also.
I think they are the best software
Yeah.
there.
So we are providing both the services to all the researchers.
Yeah,
as-
yeah.
Yes.
Then that is perfectly enough for your
Yeah, the software is enough to check the plagiarism.
yeah.
So thank you so much. So on behalf of Parole University, I want to appreciate definitely with the e-certificate, because right now online session is going on, so we are not able to give you physical appreciation. So on behalf of Parole University, we highly oblige for your session and commitment to get the to share your knowledge with our Parole University researchers as well as the faculty members. So I
Thank you so
really
much.
appreciate with this e-certificate for your time and commitment. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much. It's
So this
pleasure.
is the just a formality
I
from
know.
our side. Yeah. So this is the one kind of appreciation. So this is the time to thank to all. On behalf of Parole University, we from the very bottom of our heart and express our sincere gratitude to Dr. Lalita Polaru, Head Librarian, Knowledge Management Center, National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad, for conducting a very high effective session. Thank you very much for sparing your valuable time from your busy schedule for this webinar. Thank you once again, madam.
Thank you so much, and you're most
We,
welcome.
yes, madam. Whenever we need, you are ready to help
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
Thank you so
certainly.
much once again.
Yeah.
We really very thankful to Dr. M.N. Patel sir, Parole University, Provost, Dr. H.S. Vijay Kumar sir, Registrar, Parole University, Professor Dr. Ajit Gangwani, Deputy Registrar, for presence in the webinar, Parole University, staff members, and our research students for their presence in this webinar. And really, I very bottom of my heart, I thank to Dr. Lalita Polaru once again for this informative session conducting by her. A very big thanks to participants and Special Dean's Director, Principal of Parole Universities for sparing their valuable time. My sincere thanks to Mr. Brijesh Acharya for wonderful IT support. Because of him, we are able to see it live on Facebook. Without his support, it is not able to see at FB page. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much to entire team of Parole University for their shared vision and continuous support. With this, we come to end of today's session. Please fill up the feedback form. We will email you your e-certificate. Without your feedback form, we are not able to give you e-certificate. So I request all of you to fill up your feedback form and mail us. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much
Thank
to
you, ma'am.
entire team. Your feedback is very much valuable, highly valuable for us. So fill your feedback form. Till the end of this session, goodbye to all. Take care and stay safe. Stay home.
Okay.
Bye. See
Bye
you,
bye.
madam. Thank
Bye
you
bye.
so
Thank
much.
you. Bye.
Thanks to all. Thank you. Thank you.